ready access to poisonous chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, and weedicides, as well as pay attention to the storage of cleaning agents in the household that are commonly ingested by persons in their suicide bids. We must find resources to expand the psychiatric and psychosocial services that could offer alternatives, not only to mentally ill persons, but those many persons in our society. Perhaps we may have one or two in our midst this morning who are struggling to cope with everyday challenges and are depressed. Unfortunately, suicide is an issue that is still surrounded by fear, shame, and silence. But by breaking through the barriers of stigma and silence and openly addressing the factors that contribute to suicide, we can all help to prevent it. As Minister of Social Protection, I strongly believe that a major part of the solution is more effective support systems, not only in Georgetown. Georgetown is not Guyana. It must be in all 10 administrative regions. Support for the family, our faith-based organizations, the community, teachers, employers, and colleagues. Sometimes we do forget that even the person who sits next to us 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, that they too can become depressed. And our words to them is, I got work to do, me ain't got time for listen. And then they commit suicide or they attempt suicide and said, you know she trying to talk to me or he trying to talk to me. We have to listen. We have to listen. Together with social services officials who also needs some psychiatric treatment and some way to let go because they're taking in, but there is no place for them to let go. And so we hear of them speaking to people in all manners and so on. And it's something we do not appreciate and we will not tolerate. But we also have to recognize that they also are a receptacle of what they meet and the challenges people bring to them every day. And so we, as a government, we have to ensure that we put systems in place so that those persons can also let go. They can all play critical roles in assisting individuals to develop the requisite skills and abilities to cope with stress and anxiety in their lives. The family or the household is extremely important. The family is where our socialization process begins. And we know what has happened to the family unit in Guyana. But this social unit, the family, can aid in the early detection and management of family members who are at risk of committing suicide. At this point, I want to solicit the support of all members of the religious community to help prevent suicide. It's not about our souls alone. It is also about giving guidance and giving an ear. You have a critical role to play in sustaining and strengthening families, not encouraging them to separate and to have divorce. That role becomes even more relevant today when families are broken and torn apart. You can compassionately help individuals navigate the struggles of life and help them find a sense of hope, meaning, purpose, and even joy in life. In other words, you can help them heal those who have struggled with suicide or survived the suicide of someone they loved. We must also recognize the importance of the internet in the lives of our young people. And us, the older young people, must not say, I ain't able with them things is not for me. We have to learn. We all have to go back to school and learn if we want to address the issues of our young people today. This is where they socialize, get information, become connected, form relationships, express themselves and follow trends. Get on some of your children or your grandchildren Facebook page and you'll see some things that you don't know about. Our efforts here must cater to that by ensuring that they become aware of where they can go online for help. Since the internet also has sites that provide information on effective methods of committing suicide, it is a double-edged tool. Let us encourage our young people to use the internet to find help and support. While today's event is a starting point for a dialogue process on suicide prevention and other social ills, we need to take this conversation to homes, religious organizations, offices, and spaces. And we can begin by when we have these programs, by having it stream live so that they can follow us wherever they are. We all have a duty and a responsibility to support each other. Suicide is everybody's business. If something is wrong and you are troubled, depressed, and affected by it mentally and emotionally, speak to someone. That must be our message. Tell them about your problem. Do not keep it to yourself. Life is sacred. Life is a gift. Let us preserve it. Let us say no to suicide. Thank you.